Hi! This instructional video is about finding the distance or the length between the two coordinate points given on a coordinate plane. For example, here on number 1, 2 points are given where on a coordinate plane, let's say, we have a point, a y value that is quite high, so let's make it this way. How about like that? And so let's say the first coordinate, let's label that as x1, y1. Then if that's the first set, then the next order pair, I should label it as x2, y2. So if I were to point this coordinate, -2 and 1, the x is -2, so let's take half of the grid here. So 1, 2, that's -2, and 1 right there. So that's the coordinate -2 and 1. And the second coordinate is 6 and 16. So 2, 4, 6, and 16 is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, way up there. There it is. So that's going to be my 6 and 16. And so we're trying to find the distance between the coordinate x1, y1 and x2, y2. So how do you find the distance? Well, if I were to go diagonally, if I were to go left to right, I could simply count the grids. Or if I were to go up or down, same thing. I could just count the number of grids. Well, that will give me the total value of the length. But what if it's diagonal? Well, enter the distance formula. D is equal to the square root of the difference of the two x values, x of 2 minus x of 1 squared, plus the difference of the y values, y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. And if you square root the whole thing, it will give you the total length, or the distance between the 2 points. So since I already labeled it as x1, y1, and x2, y2, why don't I substitute it into the value that into the formula here? So that's square root of x2 is identified as 6, minus x1 is -2. Careful, negative, negative, they become positive. And then same as y sub 2 is 16, minus the y1 is 1. And we're going to square that as well. So now let's start evaluating. So 6 minus -2 is like saying 6 plus 2, which is 8. And 8 squared is 64. Plus 16 minus 1 is 15. 15 squared is 225. And we're going to add that and square root at the same time. So square root of 64 plus 225 is like saying square root of 289, I guess. And what is the square root of 289? I'm not too sure. So I'm going to go ahead and use a calculator. So 289. Then we're going to square root that. Oh wow, we got lucky. It's 17. So that means the distance between these 2 points is 17 units away. Now, why don't you try numbers 2 and 3? You do not have to draw the graph. Just go ahead and make sure you label it x1, y1, x2, y2, and write down the distance formula and start substituting it and evaluate for the total distance between the 2 points. And do the same with number 3. Good luck. Okay. Now that you got the idea of what we're actually trying to look for, which is a distance between the 2 given points, okay, now that we understand the concept, we could just simply solve for the distance between these 2 points. So, label this as x1, y1, and then you could say this is x2, y2. Even though you see it, it's always wise to write the formula each and every time you use it. So D is equal to square root of x sub 2 minus x sub 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Start evaluating. We got square root of, x sub 2, I labeled it as 4, minus x sub 1 is -1. Careful, we have a negative and negative, and we're going to square that. plus y sub 2 is negative 5 minus, because it says right there minus, y sub 1 is minus 3 or negative 3. Again, careful, two negatives side by side. So let's rewrite the whole thing by simplifying this negative signs. That is like saying 4 minus negative 1, that's 4 plus 1. So that's 5 squared. Plus, this is a little tricky. Negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2 squared. And now we say that's the square root of 25 plus negative 2 times another negative 2, because it's being squared, remember? Negative 2 squared means negative 2 times another negative 2. Negative is positive. So that's 4 right there. And then that obviously becomes square root of 29. Obviously, that is not only a prime number. It's also... Okay, well, anyway, let's figure that out. 29 square rooted is approximately, if I round to the nearest 10th place, which is a 3, and since the next number over to the 100th place is 5 or greater, it's going to be 5.4. Rounds up to 5.4. And there's your distance. And then finally, number 3. Yeah, label x1, y1, x2, y2. Write the formula d is equal to the square root of x of 2 minus x of 1 squared plus y sub 2 minus y sub 1 squared. Start plugging in the numbers. We got x of 2 is negative 2 minus x of 1 is negative 5. Oh, we're going fast and furious now. Y sub 2 is negative 7 minus y sub 1 is just 2. Okay, now we have to be very careful. We're combining some negative numbers over here. So in this case, negative 2 minus negative 5. That's like saying negative 2 plus 5, which is 3 squared. Plus, now this is like saying take out $7 from the bank, take out 2 more bucks. I took out a total of negative $9. And we're going to square that. So d is equal to 3 squared is 9. Negative 9 times another negative 9 is positive 81. So that's like saying square root of 9 plus 81 is, what is that? 90. Now that is a composite number, but we want to find the square root. So 90 square rooted, if that's a proper verb, round to the nearest 10th. And since the 100th is 5 or greater, it's going to become 9.5. And there we have it. What do you think?